Hi everybody, it's great to be on.
What have you got to bring to the table today, sir?
Okay, just 2 seconds on the brown nosing, not too long taken up with that. I'd like to thank Potholer for allowing those of us in this part of the world to actually get onto this kind of format. Everything's UK, US centric, and our time zone kind of gets missed behind. I like to steer away actually from the general topics, not least because they're not particularly safe for me in this part of the world.
So you've made reference to this particular part of the world twice now. I think, are you able to tell us which area you are talking about?
I'm in Malaysia, which is a predominantly Muslim country.
Okay, thank you.
So your area of general discussion is not particularly safe for me. So we'll leave that to one side. So I'd like to talk about, I know that one piece of the rational debate doesn't seem to get addressed very much. And not being in academia myself, I'm hoping that some of you guys might have come across other people in different disciplines, and that's economics. It seems to me, as a very much a layperson and not particularly strong education, that communism relies entirely on the goodwill of the people, that they will put in best effort and only take out what they need, which is never ever going to work and never would have done. And capitalism, as the RSA videos all start with, infinite growth on a finite world, which is equally impossible. Is there anybody out there in academia actually looking for a rational economic system that actually would like not growth but decline? And decline, by that decline I don't mean lower living standards. I'm talking about not accepting a world of 10 billion as as Mr. Roslin is saying, is quite happy with a world of 10 billion and that we will peak at that. But actually says, no, if we all want a good world, if we all want a car, and we do, and we all want all the good things in life, then we're going to have to bring it down. The Malthusians of this world cannot always be wrong. So over to you guys.
Well, I can certainly talk on that. My politics is very, or my economics is very much free market, and I haven't found a system that works any better. I think the question, though, of population growth and growth in general is an interesting one, because we do get people who say, we can hold a population much higher than the one we've got now. Well, we can, but it's going to be at the expense of living standards of much of the world. There's no doubt about that. I think one of the interesting things is, if you don't go for growth, then you have to reduce people's living standards, and that has a spiraling negative effect. I'm not an economist, but that would be a problem with reducing growth, and I don't think they found any way out of that. Growth is the only way that they found that works economically, and of course that's a problem, because there are going to be eventual limits to growth, certainly in terms of population. Not perhaps my field of expertise, though, so I'm going to throw that to someone else.
Okay, I accept economics is not, but I'm sure you probably got some observations to make about the population growth, because for me it seems to be a very serious issue that people are not addressing. I mean, the escalation of the number of people on this planet is extraordinary, and I think it is frightening, and I think that it's an issue that needs to be addressed.
I mean, we're at 7 billion now, and everywhere that I've been, on assignment over the last 20 years, it's interesting how many times water crops up as being a problem. I was watching an Eric Hovind video, and in fact I kept the clip from this because I'm going to do something on this, where he was saying we could fit the entire population of the world into Zanzibar. Or Connecticut.
You've seen a different video to me. He said the Isle of Wight when video I watched. Yeah.
He's changing locations now to shift these billions of people. Yeah, now of course you could put them all on the Isle of Wight, but they wouldn't last more than about 2 or 3 days. It's not the physical volume or the space that each individual occupies that's the problem. It's the resources that each of us needs.
And I have to say, when he says in the speech, whether it's the Isle of Wight or whatever other geographical location, he normally goes on to say, well, if you think things are getting overpopulated, just move somewhere where there's less people. And he gets applauded when he makes a comment like that. And it's so irresponsible. And he's got.
You know where sorry, I was just going to say, Richard, he's moved to somewhere with a few people. You know the places he cited when the video that I saw in Montana and Texas. He says there's loads of space in Montana and Texas. You know, don't tell me the world's overpopulated. Move where there's no people. And I thought, I wonder if Mexicans started coming across the border to inhabit Texas and Montana, whether Eric Hovind would be in favor of that.
I feel for poor Aaron. The idea that, I mean, he's got a bad enough time in Texas as it is, but the idea of Kent Hovind supporters flooding Texas because there's more space there is pretty frightening. But no, I mean, it's a serious issue, and it's one I'm encouraged that the likes of Green Man, who I know that you've had contact with, Potholer, are making videos about this sort of issue. I mean, I look at it and I think, I drive to my local shop perhaps a couple of miles away, and I'm taking with me a ton or so of metal and polluting the atmosphere. This is not something that is sustainable. It's going to have to come to an end. It's just ludicrous, isn't it?
Well, you know, I often get people asking me, I mean, because I used to work in the oil industry, and they say, is oil running out? No, it's not. We've got heaps of oil, and we've got tons of coal. The thing is, it's going to get more expensive. The big problem is economic. And as you know, with economics, the people that win out are the ones that have got money, and the people that lose are the ones that don't. So ultimately, oil will be in the hands of those who can afford it, and so same with coal, same with food and water, and unfortunately, those who can't afford it are going to be the ones who are going to lose out from it.
Let's move on to our next caller. Welcome to the show, Spiny.